What's up, Developing Prospect family? Today we're going to be going over 3 essential items that every big league all-star shortstop uses. It's 3 items that I used in my career, and it's something that a lot of big leaguers showed me, and I want to give back to you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So item number one is going to be the flat glove. The flat glove is utilized by almost every big league all-star that's in the big leagues. It's something that's used in practice. It's something that's used before games. When I played in my career with the Cincinnati Reds, it's something that spring training we focused on. When we came to the field every single day in spring training, I was not allowed to use my normal baseball glove. This was the glove that we were using day in and day out. By the time I got there 6 in the morning till game time came. And the reason that people use this glove is there's not a lot of things that you can do correctly or incorrectly. And what I mean by that is when we're fielding a ground ball, and let's just say you're super hard with your hands, you go to take the ball, that baseball hits it, and you're not soft, it's gonna pop right off, right? Now, other way around, if you're fielding that baseball and you find yourself catching the baseball, but when you're catching it out in front, you're fielding that ball and it's loose and it's not fielding it the correct way, you're gonna notice when you're doing it right versus when you're doing it wrong. It's instant feedback, and that's something that I wanna talk about today. Some of these items that we're gonna be talking about, you're getting instant feedback. Instant feedback, you don't need a coach to tell you you're doing it wrong. The glove is gonna naturally tell you when you're fielding the ball right versus when you're fielding it wrong. Okay? So let's talk about in season how we use this. So I would get to the field, we'd have practice, I'd have batting practice, and during batting practice, I'd have coaches hitting me ground balls off the fungo. If you guys go back, I have a couple of videos going over different fungo drills that coaches use for our infielders. Now, when coaches hit these fungos to us, we gotta work on something that's super unique and super nice with this flat glove. We gotta make sure that we're under control when we field that baseball. When we're getting to the ball, we're catching it out in front and under control. And now one of the cool things that I love about the flat glove is if we get to that baseball and we're in this position, and let's just say my wrist is turned this way, instantly that baseball is gonna hit that top of that glove every single time. So what we want with this flat glove is we want to be able to be out in front. We want to see that button that we always talk about on this baseball channel. We want to make sure that we're down and that we're out in front when fielding with that flat glove. Now, once we get to that baseball with this flat glove and we get to that ball, if we're not being slow with it and we're not almost fielding it out in front forward and we're fielding it more back here, if it's hard and it hits that, it's gonna pop right off. It's gonna instantly give you that feedback that you're not fielding the ball correctly. So if we field it correctly, we're gonna be able to catch that baseball, we're gonna catch it out in front, and you're not gonna hear as much coming off that glove. Like I said, instant feedback with that flat glove. Let's go over a baseball fielded correctly with the flat glove, but let's also go over a baseball fielded incorrectly with the flat glove. All right, moving forward, now we're in essential item number 2. Essential item number 2 is gonna be a small glove. This glove happens to be 9.5 inches. The normal glove that we use in the infield is about 11 1/3, 11.5, depends on what kind of infielder you are, what kind of infielder you wanna be. And the reason that I chose this as an essential item that every shortstop in the big leagues uses is because with this glove especially, it's similar to that flat glove. You have an opportunity to get instant feedback with this glove. When you're fielding that baseball with this short glove, you don't have as much webbing to use to actually be able to, once that baseball gets in there, to hide that baseball. So if you guys notice, if you look into this glove, it's really small. You get if you get a view of an actual glove, you got another 2 inches or so that goes up. And so when you're fielding a baseball with that normal glove, if you're going backhand, you're going forehand, you have an opportunity to get that baseball kind of stuck in there and you have more wiggle room. Whereas this glove, if you get that baseball not in that correct spot, it's gonna instantly pop out. And again, we're getting that instant feedback showing us what we're doing right versus what we're doing wrong. So let's jump into why I use this and why these big leaguers are using this in the big leagues. So one of the main things is once they get to that field, it's a progression. So with that flat glove, a lot of big leaguers are using that as soon as they get to the field, whether it's infield practice or batting practice. Now, as they start to feel more comfortable into that batting practice session, they move into this glove, this training glove. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna almost mirror what it's like to be in a game. But as I said earlier, with that normal glove, you have more wiggle room, you have more room that you can mess up with. Where with this, we're getting that instant feedback. They're getting ready for that game. They're starting to feel good with their hands. So by the time they get to that game, they're using that normal glove and they're feeling good. They're feeling confident for the day. So this small glove is gonna help you with focus. So once you get into that game, you transitioned into that game, now we're focused on a bigger glove, where with this, smaller. So let's talk about how to use this glove. So similar to that flat glove, we're talking about progressions. We're talking about using this beforehand, batting practice, and then we move into games. So with this glove, it's the same idea. Once we're fielding that baseball, we're gonna be out in front. We're making sure that we're fielding that baseball with that button down. And now every time that we field this baseball, we're trying to feel it out nice and soft. Now, if you start getting those ground balls and they start eating you up and they start getting in that palm, remember, we have less glove, less leather to work with. So we have to make sure when we're getting that baseball that we're really trying to focus on one big thing. And I think this is super important. Let me know in the comment section below if you've ever heard about this. But when we're fielding this baseball, we want to make sure that we're on the inside of that pointer finger. Especially with this glove, every ground ball that we're going to be taking, we're feeling it off that pointer finger on the inside, and we're really trying to make sure, especially with this small glove, that we're feeling it out in front and we're feeling it softly. If that baseball comes in hard and you catch it more in that palm area, it's going to pop right out. We have less glove to work with. All right, we're on to the third and final essential item that every big league all-star shortstop is using. The third item that we're gonna be talking about is turf shoes. It's something that literally every big leaguer is using, and not even talking about shortstops now, we're just talking about big leaguers in general. When they get to the practice field, this is something that they're gonna have on. Let's talk about why they're actually doing this. So if you guys think about it, every time you go into a game, metal cleats. As you get past, I think it's like age 11 or 12, you turn into metal cleats, rubber cleats. But what's the reason that people use those? The reason that people use those is for traction. Now, as an infielder, we get lucky sometimes. We take our feet for granted. When we get too wide, we're in a baseball position, we get too wide in the infield, our cleats save us. But we throw these puppies on, we're in practice, and we have these, and let's say we get too wide, what do you think is gonna happen? We're gonna start slipping, we're gonna start falling. So why I like these and why every big leaguer is using these is because they can't cheat their way through these drills. If they find themselves too wide, they're gonna fall all over the place. When we find ourselves too narrow, we're gonna find ourselves slipping and falling. So with these puppies, these are gonna be essential for you guys. If you don't have a pair, we have a link in the description below. Go check out any pair of turfs work. But one of the things that we like to talk about with these shoes is I don't want just a normal running shoe. I want us to have some type of traction, okay? We're not going off with just a bare sole. We have some type of traction that we're gonna be using to still get some grip. Now, once we get into the infield and we start checking out videos of different shortstops in the big leagues using these things, watch them. They start running around making all these plays, and this looks like they're in cleats. Why? Because they have gotten so used to fitting that ball in these, but by the time they get to practice, they get to games, they're already used to it. They know what they're doing. They know how to control their body. So I truly recommend, if you don't have a pair of these and you're not using this in practice, if you're a coach or a parent listening to this, get your kids a pair of this. They're gonna struggle at first. They're gonna get mad at you for using these things. But over time, I promise you guys, you're gonna see a difference in every aspect of the game when it comes to using these shoes. So you guys heard 3 essential items that every big league all-star shortstop is using. If you guys ever use any of these items, if you have, let us know in the comment section below. If you guys haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you guys get notified anytime we put out more content. If you guys liked our video today, stay tuned for future videos.